it was a call to action from Governor Spencer Cox that has become a catchphrase of sorts: disagree better. Everyday life experiences and a scroll on social media would inform us that adults still need some practice at this. And my next guest says kids need some instruction as well. Psychologist Dr. Tom Golightly is joining us right now. And I would, Tom, say that, you know, what is the age that we're talking about here? But we're talking about the young ones to, like, what would you say, teenage age?
Really even more than that. Our adult children need this as well. And I think how we do this, our tactics might change, but this is really applicable for children of all ages, from the very young to the not so young, shall we say it that way.
And this is good reminders for us grown-ups as well, because we're going to be involved with this as far as modeling. Is that fair to say?
I think that's our primary tactic. I think if we can model these things, even from an early age, that we're helping our little ones really develop that skill a little bit better. But also, just it's like any skill. Like, think of a sport skills. If we don't practice them, they kind of go away. So even as we're older, we can re-practice these, really remind ourselves of, hey, this is how we might be able to go about doing this. But modeling is probably our key tool in our box.
Absolutely. Okay, so first off is connecting.
So we really need to think about goals of a conversation. Too often when we're disagreeing, we aren't really wanting to win it. We get into this power struggle a little bit, and so it becomes a debate, and I'm right, who's wrong, when really our goal should be to connect. How do I understand this person? Can I find that little bit of ground with them in order to really kind of see where they're coming from? And usually when we do that, if our goal is to connect, then we're able to kind of diffuse most of the situations that would come up in the conversation.
Yeah. And I noticed too, when you do try to look for that connection, it's almost like, okay, they kind of let their guard down a little bit.
Right. It's disarming, it's diffusing, and I think as far as it goes with our kids, we might not understand where they're coming from, and I think it's really important, like, okay, let me connect to where they're coming from. They might be pushing back on me, but can I really hear them and understand them?
And that would take listening first, right?
Yes. Oh man, this is
that muscle of listening.
This is a lost art. I know I get stuck in this and I want to be heard, but I think if we can really reground ourselves in listening and active listening. I know that I look back now that all of my kids are grown and out of the home, but my best moments of parenting came when my mouth was closed. I think they would agree with that too. But I honestly think that as we listen and seek to understand and kind of reflect back, you know, this is what I'm hearing you say, then we're really giving them space to put a voice to it. And like I said, we want to be heard. Can we allow the other person that space to be heard?
And as we're leaning more into that, are you finding that that kind of opens up more civilized dialogue, some more back and forth that is actually very healthy?
This gets to the next point, if our curiosity is genuine, then yes, I think we are getting to that level a little bit better. But we have to approach it when we're emotionally activated with that defensiveness, when we're confused, instead of hitting back, ask another question. Go and retrain yourself to be curious about that, and have a few sentences maybe in your tool belt, so to speak, to kind of say, hey, I'm not fully understanding you. Tell me more about that. Or I might not fully agree with you, but here's what I connect to. And then we can kind of get at some other depth, a different level that will help us kind of connect to that person a bit differently.
And they feel seen, they feel heard, so they're willing to share more.
And they're willing to give you that same space back.
Any other tips or suggestions? Like, I guess, let me scale it back a little bit. When should we be concerned? Are there like certain red flags where we kind of see maybe this isn't going the right direction and then we need to pivot or reroute?
I think when you start seeing their emotional activation increase, that, especially with our children, we need to be the one that kind of names that and says, all right, let's back this off a little bit. Let me seek to find some commonality with you. It might not feel like we're coming from the same space, but if we're truly seeking, we're gonna find what we're looking for. And if we can find that common space, and then then we're really going to be okay. But especially when those things start to escalate, we have to be the adult and really start to de-escalate the situation.
But I know you've heard in the past, having dealt with kids, like,
Yes.
we don't have anything in common. Are you
Yes.
kidding? Like, we're too different. This is not going to work.
There's usually when we're doing that, we're zooming into too much to a topic or to a word or to a sentence. When I pull back, even in a political disagreement, what I can find is we both care about this country. We both love our freedoms. I hear which freedoms are important to you, and you hear which freedoms are important to me. And it's really important to kind of find, even in those contentious situations, that there is common ground to be found.
All right, you're giving us the tools, and as adults, we've got to, work on all of these behaviors and try to model them best as we can. Dr.
Yes.
Tom Golightly, thanks so much. Appreciate your insight.
Thanks for having me.